Alrighty then, here we are. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 495, first paragraph. Oh, there's Stanley. He's a good boy. New shirt compliments Joe Trent. Thanks, Joe, for sending me the massive Hawaiian shirt collection. All right, first paragraph. You must hook the reader. Think about every book you've ever read and think about that first paragraph. It hooked you and it drew you in from the word go. This is so important. It's what makes the whole book. That first paragraph is critical. A lot of people will start with background information like, hey, this planet was green and it was fertile and stop it. Why? You should set that question in your reader's mind right at the outset. Leave a question. What are they going to accomplish? Look at Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Great. Here we've got a separation, and that's just the first part of it. It is actually a huge run-on, massively long compare and contrast sentence that sets the stage for the whole book. That's it. Everything in the whole book is right there in that first paragraph. That it tells you what's coming up without getting into any specifics. This is your blurb. Not a synopsis. It doesn't tell you that, oh, he does this and then they do this. And irony, no, none of that. It just sets the stage. I am not until I have to be. That's my assassin thriller book and series. I am not until I have to be. And the last sentence is, we are not until we have to be. So there, now you got to read the book because you got to figure out, hey, what's all in between there? About 80,000 words worth of in between there. You set the stage. You hook the reader. Never give a reader a reason to stop reading. They will always come back to that why. So why? What else? What makes us the best? What makes us the worst of times? It looks like people are eating cake. They're digging it. Well, they're not really eating cake. Keep the reader interested and keep them reading to find out more. That first paragraph and then that whole of the first chapter. Mickey Spillane said the first chapter sells this book and the last chapter sells the next book. Think about the wisdom in those words from somebody who was considered a pulp writer, who wrote a lot of books, who got paid by the word, by the book, like Edgar Rice Burroughs, those guys from long ago. They wrote because they had to. It's how they got paid. So Mickey Spillane, he wrote books because that's how he got paid. And last chapter sells the next book. So that's your last chapter. Has to be a great encapsulation, a great wrap up. You close those loops and you leave the reader feeling great. And then they can't wait for the next book. The first paragraph sets up the first chapter, which then sets up the whole book. Think about that as you're writing it. I go back. I generally don't go back and rewrite chapters 2 through 25, but I will rewrite chapter 1 a lot of times as I'm going through the book because I want to keep setting that stage and make sure that first chapter and that first paragraph especially is as compelling as it can possibly be without answering any questions. May introduce a character, may introduce a part of the world, but it sets the stage. It leaves that question that's nebulous and ambiguous and that the reader has to keep reading to find out. So keep that in mind. First paragraph, first chapter sells this book. So sell it hard and make it great. Peace, fellow humans.